Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Professor Amal Mishra, Assistant Professor of Department of Electrical Engineering, SND College of Engineering and Research Center, Development. Today we are discussing on the topic microcontroller, the 8051 microcontroller. 8051 microcontroller introduction. To make a complete microcomputer system, only microprocessor is not sufficient. It is necessary to add other peripherals such as read-only memory, that is ROM, read-write memory, that is RAM, decoders, drivers, number of input-output devices such as interrupt controller, programmable timers, programmable input-output devices, DMA controllers may be added to improve the capability, performance, and flexibility of a microcomputer system. The microcontroller incorporates all the features that are found in a microprocessor. However, it has also added features to make a complete microcomputer system on its own. The microcontroller has built-in ROM, RAM, parallel input-output, serial input-output, counters, and a clock circuit. What is the difference between microprocessor and a microcontroller? In microprocessor, it contains arithmetic logic unit, that is ALU, control unit, different registers, and interrupt circuit. In microcontroller, it contains microprocessor, memory, input-output interfacing, and peripheral devices such as analog to digital converter, serial input-output, timer, etc. Second one, in microprocessor, it has many instructions to move data between memory and CPU. It has, in microcontroller, it has one or two instructions to move data between memory and CPU. The third one, in microprocessor, it has one or two bit handling instructions. Third one, in microcontroller, it has many bit handling instructions. In microprocessor, the fourth one is the access times for memory and input-output devices are more. In a microcontroller, the fourth one, less access times for built-in memory and input-output devices. Microprocessor, it needs more hardware. In a microcontroller, it needs less hardware. In microprocessor, it is more flexible in design point of view. In microcontroller, less flexible in design point of view. Microprocessor has single memory map for data and code. Microcontroller has separate memory map for data and code. Microprocessor has less number of pins or multifunction. Microcontroller has more number of pins of multifunction. The architecture in this figure, the architecture of 8051 microcontroller shown here, in which there are two timers are shown, that is timer 1 and timer 0. These are the 16-bit timers, and it shows the 128-bit of RAM, 4K of flash memory, that is ROM memory. Its interrupts control. CPU means the microprocessor. Oscillator means the clock-driven frequency. The bus control, and the 4 input-output pins, that is input-output ports, that is P0, P2, P1, P3, and the bus control signal. What is the interrupt? Interrupt is a subroutine call that interrupts of the microcontroller's main operations or work and causes it to execute any other program, which is more important at the time of operation. The feature of interrupt is very useful as it helps in case of emergency operations. And interrupts gives us a mechanism to put on hold the ongoing operations, execute a subroutine, and then again resumes to another type of operation. These are called as interrupts. The microcontroller 8051 can be configured in such a way that it temporarily terminates or pauses the main program at the occurrence of interrupts. When a subroutine is completed, then the execution of main program starts. Generally, 5 interrupt sources are there in a 8051 microcontroller. There are five vector interrupts are shown in below. That is INT0, second one TF0, third one is INT1, fourth one is TF1, fifth one is R1/T1. Out of these, INT0 and INT1 are external interrupts that could be negative edge triggered or low level triggered. When all these interrupts are activated, set the corresponding flag except for serial interrupt. The interrupt flags are cleared when the processor branches to the interrupt service routine, that is ISR. The external interrupt flags are cleared when the processor branches to the interrupt service routine. Provided the interrupt is a negative edge triggered, whereas the timer and serial port interrupt, two of them are external interrupts. Two of them are timer interrupts and one serial port interrupt terminal in general. Base, bus. Basically, bus is a collection of wires which work as a communication channel or medium for transfer of data. These buses consist of 8, 16 or more wires of the microcontroller. Thus, this can carry 8 bits, 16 bits simultaneously. Two types of buses that are shown in below bus: address bus and data bus. The address bus microcontroller 8051 has a 16-bit address bus for transferring the data. It is used to address memory location and to transfer the address from CPU to memory of the microcontroller. It has four addressing modes that are immediate addressing mode, bank address or register addressing mode, direct addressing mode, register indirect addressing mode. The data bus. The data bus of microcontroller 8051 has 8 bits of the data bus, which is used to carry data of particular application. What is the oscillator? Generally, we know that the microcontroller is a device. Therefore, it requires clock pulses for its operation of microcontroller application. For this purpose, microcontroller 8051 has an on-chip oscillator which works as a clock source for central processing unit of the microcontroller. The output pulses of oscillator are stable, therefore it enables synchronized work for all parts of 8051 microcontroller. The input-output port of 8051 microcontroller. Normally, microcontroller is used in embedded system to control the operation of machines in the microcontroller. Therefore, to connect it to other machines, devices, or peripherals, we require input-output interfacing ports in the microcontroller interface. For this purpose, microcontroller 8051 has four input-output ports to connect it to the other peripherals, timers, and counters of 8051 microcontroller. The 8051 microcontroller has two 16-bit timers and counters. These counters are again divided into an 8-bit register. The timers are used for measurement of intervals to determine the pulse width of pulses. The applications of 8051 microcontroller. The daily life applications we are using in our daily life, these are follows. The first one is the light sensing and controlling devices. And second one is the temperature sensing and controlling devices. Third one is the fire detections and safety devices. Fourth one is the automobile applications and defense applications. In the industrial application, the industrial instrumentation devices are used of 8051 microcontroller. Then after process control devices. Then after in measurement, the measurement applications of 8051 microcontroller as given below. The first one is a voltmeter application. Second one is a measuring and revolving object. Third one is a current meter object. Fourth one is a handheld metering system. Thank you for your support.